Here is the unwritten law of running a solo creative business. Doing the work and finding the work cannot happen at the same time. When you're heads down on a deadline, actually making the thing you were hired to make, biz dev stops. You aren't researching new brands or writing outreach emails. You're doing the work the client is paying you for. But then the project wraps. You look up and there are no conversations happening. Nothing is warming up in the pipeline. Now you're scrambling. You're trying to cold call from a complete standstill, pitching out of pure need rather than confidence. Because the revenue stopped, you end up taking on projects you know you shouldn't touch, just to keep the lights on. Every freelancer and small studio knows this exact cycle. You are either drowning in work or completely starved for your next lead. There is no middle ground.
The obvious assumption is that you can just fire up an AI chatbot, generate a generic email template, and blast it out to 50 brands to fill the gap. But effective outreach requires you to actually dig into a company. You have to find out who makes the decisions, review their recent campaigns, and discover a specific angle that makes your message worth reading. That takes hours of research per lead, hours you don't have. To fix the pipeline, you don't need a better email template. You need to carve out a specific, autonomous role whose only job is to handle the revenue side of your business. I built an AI system to do exactly that. His name is Reid. He is my automated biz dev guy, complete with a distinct perspective and a strict job description. Before he writes a single word, he bypasses the basic Google search to run a deep pull on a brand. He aggregates company size, leadership changes, and visual analysis of their recent campaigns. He scans all that data for a hook. He's looking for real observations, like noticing that a company just launched a new line, but their 3D product renders look flat compared to their closest competitors. Then he drafts the outreach, 4 to 6 sentences. He opens with a mutual connection, points out that specific observation, and closes casually. No desperate links to a portfolio, just a simple request to chat. I still read everything. I adjust the tone slightly, and I am ultimately the one who hits send. But the gap between thinking I should reach out to a brand and actually having a tailored draft ready in my inbox drops from 2 weeks of procrastination to a 5-minute review. Opportunities stop dying in the drafting phase. The next major failure point for solo creatives is the follow-up. By the time you remember you should check in on a pitch, 3 weeks have passed, the moment feels awkward, and the lead fades away. Reid tracks the exact timeline of every pitch out there. He knows exactly who I emailed 2 weeks ago and who hasn't responded. He drafts a check-in that gives the prospect one clear reason to reply, entirely stripping away the desperate apologies for reaching out again. And because he has no emotional attachment to the pitch, he provides a mercilessly honest read on the situation. If a deal looks cold, he says so. He will tell me to send one clean final message and move on. This objective tracking stops me from wasting time and mental energy chasing ghost clients who were never going to hire me anyway. When someone actually agrees to a meeting, Reid's third duty triggers. He builds me a comprehensive pre-call brief detailing exactly who I am talking to and what their specific challenges are. I used to wing these calls after spending 10 minutes scanning an Instagram feed. Now I walk into the meeting armed with 5 smart questions and a clear map of vendor traps to avoid. Showing up prepared completely changes how you are positioned in the market. You go from acting like a vendor hoping for a shot to being treated as a peer who actually understands their business. It is important to be honest about what this system cannot do. It is an operational support structure, not a replacement for human execution. Reid can draft the email, but he cannot build the relationship. The actual connection only happens when I get on a call with a client and we genuinely click. He also can't make the final call on which projects to take. Deciding if the budget makes sense or if the client's personality will be a nightmare to work with is still entirely up to me. The AI delivers the raw data and keeps the momentum going, but the gut instinct and the final authority stay exactly where they belong. But by putting this system in place, the pipeline never goes dark. Follow-ups happen exactly when they are supposed to. New leads generate and initial conversations start while I am still knee-deep in finishing my current deliverables. There are no more late-night panic sessions at the desk trying to draft cold emails to cover next month's rent. One part of the AI infrastructure handles the operations for active projects, while the biz dev side secures the future revenue. Systematizing this process gives you the one thing solo creatives rarely get to experience:
the freedom to completely immerse yourself in your craft, knowing the business isn't collapsing in the background.